Welcome back, guys, to Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutors Gambit, where last episode, after making Franziska accept the murder may have taken place in the storeroom and possibly exonerating Kay with our arguments, Verity Cavell arrived with Excelcius Winner to arrest our amnesiac friend as we learn the red-coated individual was actually victim Rosie Ringer and that Kay had a memory of possibly being the murderer. With Miles's investigative efforts deemed to have been unlawful, we now find ourselves in the detention center's cells, with our conduct meeting soon to begin. But do we check ourselves an escape route or a cells door first? That's what I'm wondering about. There's a poster in the corridor outside. We regret to announce that due to the warden's arrest, the Die of Destiny game will be discontinued. Inmates will no longer need to roll a die every morning to determine their meals for the day. We wholeheartedly apologize to those who were looking forward to their daily casting of the die. Did anyone really need an apology for the cessation of such a ridiculous idea in the first place? Probably not, no. Alright, there doesn't seem anything else to really check on. Is there a tunnel under the bed still? Very basic bed. I can't say it was very comfortable to sleep on, however. Is this definitely the same cell, to be fair? I imagine Detective Gumshoe would sleep soundly on it nevertheless, loudly snoring all the while. I suppose we'll probably never get to work together again. But I don't have any regrets about the bed I've made. I will follow my own path to the end. Do I have another visitor? Ah. Kay! Oh, thank goodness you seem alright. That's a load off my mind. Ah, such a heartwarming scene is enough to make a grown man cry. But you're still not your usual cheery... I mean, you have to stay positive, Kay. You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, I guarantee you didn't. No, you have to let it go. I'm the murderer. I know that now. But you're not. You can't be. Why don't you have any faith in yourself? How can I, Mr. Edgeworth, when there is no me left to believe in? None at all. I don't think that's true. Before you lost your memory, we spent quite a bit of time together. And I dare say you left quite the impression on me. So you see, there's still plenty of you left. That's why I believe so much in your innocence, and why you should believe in yourself too. Thank you. But I can't. It would just cause more pain for the both of us. Please, you have to forget her. Forget that Kay. She's gone. Kay, no! You remind me of my younger self, you know. So noble, so bold. This is the justice you and the committee stand for. Justice? I suppose you could call it that. What is he up to? Why is he going to such lengths to control everything? I can't shake the feeling that something is very wrong here. Is there some hidden agenda at play? This is no time to second guess myself. If I'm going to find out what it is, it's now or never. Well then, my boy, I suppose I should be... Wait. Engage mind chess protocol. Why is the chairman so intent on seeing Kay charged with this murder? It doesn't make any sense. There must be some rhyme or reason to this madness. Oh, come now, Miles. I'm a busy, important man. I can't be wasting my precious time talking to you. The only way out of our current predicament is through Chairman Winner. There's so much to ask and so little time. Let's start by trying to find out why he rushed to have Kay arrested so quickly. I can't just let this happen. I'm getting answers. It's the last thing I do. Engage. Why the rush? No, Kay is innocent. It's not a good starting statement, is it? Why were you so keen to push through Kay's arrest? I've yet to hear a satisfactory explanation. An explanation? I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Don't give me that. You know exactly what I mean. I advise you to moderate your tone, dear boy. Need I remind you of your position? Is this your agitation or not? We get loads of time. I mean, you can't light up the fire, so I'm assuming it's agitated. And suppose we did let your friend go free. What then, huh? What do you mean, what then? Think how that would look, my boy. And who would have to take the blame? Me. That's who. You're doing it again? You're right to keep your mouth shut. That way you won't say anything foolish. Sorry, but I can't stay silent forever. Not while Kay's innocence is still in doubt. Ah, you're breaking my heart. Just look at this flood of tears. Spilling out. Please, just leave it alone, will you? Things were coming along nicely until you interfered. The hell? Coming along nicely? Coming along nicely. That's a pretty strange way of putting it. It's almost as if you wanted Kay's arrest to happen. It certainly doesn't sound like the statement of an impartial representative of the law. Wow, that was easy. You think so? Well, that wasn't my intention. Has it occurred to you that you might just be overthinking things a little? Chairman Winner certainly knows how to dodge a question. But it doesn't change the fact that serious doubts remain concerning Kay's arrest. Next, we'll need to press him on whether he really believes the investigation was sufficient. We can't allow any of his statements to go unexamined, no matter how trivial they may seem. One of them may just give us the breakthrough we need. How much time do you spend investigating? You were the one calling the shots, weren't you? Kay is innocent. Well, it's either one of these. How much time do you spend investigating? How much time was spent on your investigation together? All together? Oh, now, let's see. You know what? I'm not sure I can remember. And I'm sure you can. You won't bluster your way out of this one. It's not bluster, my boy. I honestly don't recall. It's a problem when you get to my age, you see. Why, I even forget my own son's name sometimes. Never mind your fool of a son. Answer me. How long did you spend on the investigation? You're right, of course. The boy's a fool. I never meant for him to grow up like that, but... Oh, woe is me. He's only too happy to derail the conversation no matter where I take it. I have to force him to take this seriously. Let's try another tack for now. Okay then. Kay is innocent has got to be right at some point in time. You can hardly say your investigation was sufficient. And you're the one who called all the shots, weren't you? Including the decision to have Kay arrested. Oh, I'm afraid I'm nowhere near as influential as you think, dear boy. What? Aren't you the most influential? You're the chairman of the committee. It doesn't get more influential than that. Not that I care about such things. You wound me. It's enough to drive an old man to tears. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not the deferential type. Well, if you're going to insist on being so blunt, then I'm afraid you won't be seeing your prosecutor's badge again anytime soon. I don't need it. I can't live with a badge. I don't need that badge anyway. What are we doing here? I don't like my two statements, but this isn't the same bide moment. Do you have multiple? I mean, it looks like an agitated state, to be fair. Nothing more to say? Wonderful. Then I'll be on my way. It seems the silent treatment won't work every time. Oh, I actually got a penalty within time. I can't just let this happen. I'm getting answers if it's the last thing I do. Right, I've got to go this route, probably, because the other route didn't actually work. You can hardly say your investigation was sufficient, and you're the one who called all the shots, weren't you? Including the decision to have Kay arrested. Right, we're going to get back to where we were. It was not an agitated state. I didn't like my two statements, though, because I didn't really want to talk about the badge. I didn't really care. But I guess that's the answer as well. Is that I don't care. So why didn't I answer that when I'm like, I don't really care? I don't care about my badge. I don't need that badge anyway. Let me make something clear once and for all. That badge isn't the be-all, end-all for me. Far from it. I'm not concerned with titles or roles. Even you must understand that much. I love how I came to the conclusion after the fact. So young. So very young. A word of advice, Miles, from somebody who's been around the block. You're hopelessly naive, my boy. Idiotically so. Well, that certainly got under his skin. He might be less guarded in his answers while he's in the States. Now's my chance. So then what am I going for this time? How much time did you spend investigating? How much time was spent on your investigation altogether? My, you really don't give up, do you? But even my patience has its limits, you know. Okay, back to agitation. What a coincidence. So does mine. Now answer the question. Do you believe that your investigation was sufficient or not? Ah, the youth these days are wont to be reckless. Makes me want to put you in your place. You're going to regret that, my boy. No, I'm putting your place. I'd like to see you try. What is agitation for you? This is so confusing. I gotta bide again, because again, I don't like the statements because they're combative statements. But I had to kind of go with a combative statement last time to proceed. This could end up with me running out of time at this rate. Oh, well, maybe you do know your place after all. What's the matter? Scared? Hardly. I was just thinking about how best to proceed. That's true. That's exactly what I was doing in real life. Getting answers from the elderly requires sensitivity. You can get quite emotional after all. You have no common sense whatsoever, do you? Don't you understand? Your fate rests in my hands. Okay, we've done the exact same thing. If it comes up with bide, I'm biding. Let's say you do manage to get some answers from me. So is there anything involving fire I bide? It's got so many animations. There's nothing you could do with them. So why not give it up, dear boy? No. And why not? It's simple. Because I'm not about to let the truth escape me. Interesting. I think I begin to see what makes you tick. But what you're doing is pointless. Tragically and miserably pointless. Please, just give up. She's guilty. The decision has been made. What? Decision has been made. Once again, your choice of words intrigues me. It's almost as if Kay's guilt had already been determined from before her arrest. We need to break it at this point, get some time back. What are you trying to imply? You plan to have her arrested by the sound of it. I'm implying that things haven't gone as they normally should. In fact, everything has proceeded as if Kay's arrest was the end goal, right from the very start. Well, Chairman Winner, was it? That's certainly an intriguing theory. But it's also a complete work of fiction. I'm afraid I don't have time for such flights of fancy. I think it's time we brought this shabby little farce to an end. Don't you? No! He's trying to make his escape! Whoa! Faster music! We must confirm the legality of Kay's arrest before he slips away. Oh, I get my time back? What the hell? We didn't even break a piece, did we? It's faint, but the truth is finally beginning to emerge. And I'm not about to let this opportunity pass me by. I still have questions! Wait, we're not done yet. I'm tired of all this talking, so make it brief, will you? Do you think the time drains faster now? Whoa! I mean, he gave the order. What grounds do you have? Based on everything I've heard from you so far, it's clear that Kay's arrest is entirely unfounded. Oh, we did break a piece. I didn't even realize. Yes, I think we're all familiar with this particular refrain of yours by now. But I'm afraid it doesn't matter either way. You don't have what it takes to secure her release anyhow. How dare you take this so lightly as a man of the law? My, aren't you a rude little boy? But my fuse is only so long. Then I'll bite because you're using fire things. Honestly speaking, I don't have the time to waste on every last question you can dream up. I have certain responsibilities to attend to, you know. I really am quite the busy man. Or are you just pretending to be busy, That's an awful thing to say to a fragile old man. I work harder than I should at my age. I ask you, my boy, what could I even hope to accomplish by putting up such a pretense? You're hoping to avoid talking about the case, probably. You obviously don't want to talk about the case anymore. That's why you're so keen to get out of this conversation, isn't it? It's just so tragic. It really is. That you would suspect me of such things. It's not a suspicion. It's a certainty. There were no clear grounds on which to base Kay's arrest for a start. Now, my boy, let's not get carried away. There was plenty of evidence to support our case. The mask, the letter, the corsage, these were all in her possession. And of course, her confession. More than enough to prove her guilt, I'd say. But those are... What's the matter? Struggling to come up with a way to explain everything away. Fighting again. Well, there we have it. Your silence speaks volumes. Hey, no. That was a correct bite. You were doing fire things. It's true I can't counter your argument right now, but you did let something valuable slip. A suspiciously detailed knowledge of the evidence against Kay. He rattled off that list like he knew it inside out. I think that might prove to be a valuable clue. Well, I still have questions, yeah. Wait, we're not done yet. We've got a clue, but we're back to the start of the whole chain. I'm tired of all this talking, so make it brief, will you? I guess who gave the order was an actual thing that I had to ask. I thought it was just you. Who gave the order? Who decided that Kay should be arrested? You know, I can't seem to remember. What? You're the chairman! Don't ever get old, Miles, my boy. It wreaks havoc on the memory. Time to deploy my clue. You remembered all the evidence pretty well. I'd appreciate it if you stopped playing the old man card. You remember the details of the evidence against Kay pretty clearly. Perhaps if your memory didn't fail you, only when it was convenient, I'd be more inclined to believe you. So let me ask you again, who gave the order for Kay's arrest? You're a sharp one, I'll give you that. My son could learn a thing or two from you. If he wasn't such an incurable numbskull, that is. It's a tragedy, really. Ugh. I don't want to hear about your son. I want to know who authorized the arrest. You're very mean. You know that, don't you? The arrest, you say? I believe the order was given by... you! Come now, Chairman Winner. We both know it was you, which is why I didn't go down this line of questioning in the first place. What's the point? Alright, you got me. I guess a confirmation is needed. You make it sound like it was somehow a bad thing, though. But I have a reputation to uphold, so I guess I'd better clear up this little misunderstanding. I'll entertain your questions for a few more minutes. Let's see if I can put your mind at ease. The key thing to do now is to establish how intimately he knows the details of the case. I just have to ask the right questions. I like my time coming back. The end game is at hand. We're but a few moves away from the truth. Tell me what you know about Kay. You seem to know an awful lot about the case. Kay is innocent. That's got to be like the last one, surely. I'll go with you seem to know a lot about the case, because that's what we need to know about details, right? You seem to know the case in quite some detail. I know about lots of things, my boy. I'm just smart like that. Too bad the same can be said about the way you handled Kay's arrest. Fire things. I'm a very busy man. Do try to remember that I can bring this little chat to an end whenever I so choose. Yeah, which is kind of like why we play with you with like the biding as well a little bit. Gotta like bait you into feeling like you're the winner, haven't we? Which you are, technically. It's only taking so long because you won't give me a straight answer to any of my questions. If only you stopped giving me the runaround, we'd be done already. So let's try this again. You seem to know the details of the case quite intimately. Why is that? Because I read the case file. Not exactly the most thrilling use of my time, of course, but it's part of the job. I have to be a good role model. I can't be seen to be slacking. It can be so hard. But I had some time on my hands, so I read the whole thing from cover to cover. But you keep saying how busy you are. Why would you be seen to be slacking? That's strange. I could have sworn you just told me you were a very busy man. I say the cracks are finally starting to show, wouldn't you? If you're so keen on being an upstanding leader, you could start by releasing Kay, you know. You really don't give up, do you? It's a moving sight indeed, my boy. But a tragic one, too. After all, your efforts are for naught. I'm afraid your little friend was found unconscious near the scene of the crime. What was the weather like? Do you see exactly where she was found? I don't want to know about the weather. We have yet to hear much about the circumstances under which Kay was found. She was lying unconscious in the storeroom, correct? That's right, although I'm not at liberty to tell you how I know that. He knows things even we didn't. In fact, he seems to be aware of every tiny detail about this case. This could be a valuable clue. Aha, we went the clue route first. Nice, nice, nice. So then it must be tell me what you know about Kay. The suspect's Kay Faraday. How much do you know about her exactly? I know that she's the suspect. Aside from that, not much else. Cross my heart, but it's true. Time to deploy my clue. Yet you know every other detail about the case. Sorry, but the more you tell me, the less sense your story makes. For one thing, you know details that even those investigating the scene were not aware of. Why is that? Just how much do you really know, Chairman Winner? Oh, that's that intimidating face you like to make again. Well, two can play this game. How would you like me now, I like you now because that tells me exactly what to do. I do have to commend you on your doggedness. It really is something. I'll take that as a compliment. Take it however you like, but wrap this up, will you? I just don't have the stamina anymore. She's the culprit, the only possible suspect. Just accept that already. How much more evidence did you want us to load her down with, for goodness sake? Load her down with? Load her down with? Yet another interesting turn of phrase. One that makes it sound a lot like the items Kay was carrying might have been foisted upon her. Impressive. You really do pay attention, don't you? It's no wonder they used to call you a prodigy, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. It's more the fact that you just say something really blooming sinister every time we get given a choice. I think you know the answer to your own question by now. Yes, how prosecutors get around doing things at the top echelon. Why don't you just go ahead and say it? I want to hear it from you. It's finally time to shed light on the truth. All that's left is to play one last move. Hey, there we go. Kay is innocent. I knew it had to end there. Kay is innocent. No, 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 my boy. That's just clumsy. Anyone can blurt out a baseless assertion like that, even a disgraced superstar prosecutor. Time to deploy my clue. Except I know it wasn't her. I believe it. Kay was framed. The true culprit set it all up so she would take the fall instead. That is my answer, and I won't let you deny it any longer. Oh wow, nice method. Generated on demand. My, you really are sharp on her. It's a bit of a shame you chose to hand in your badge. I admit it, you're right on all accounts. And that's checkmate. That was a long one. You knew Kay wasn't the real murderer, and yet you still had her arrested. What's worse, you thought you could get away with it. Well, you won't. Not if I can help it. There you go with that naivete again, my boy. I guess it was always your problem. With the girl arrested and a conviction secured, this whole mess goes away. And that's what will happen. But whose interest does a conclusion like that serve? The committee's, I suppose. And mine? You know, listening to you just now, well, it really got the tears flowing, I have to say. It was poignant and heartfelt and sincere, and utterly infuriating. Look, I'm not perfect, I know that, but your lack of sophistication in these matters is beyond the pale. You insist that the truth is more important than anything else. But would you say the same if you knew what the real value of the truth is? What are you trying to say? When you get to my level, you don't uncover the truth. You make it, little by little. Kay Faraday, murderer. That's the truth. The truth I created. Ah. Yes, my boy. That's what I like to see. You're so sincere sometimes it's painful. It just makes me want to put you in your place. Knowing the real truth will get you nowhere. Because that's how much it's worth. Nothing. Shocking, I know. But why not go after the real killer? How much do you even know about what really happened? You're still not getting it. That's your truth. And it is worthless. Mine is all that matters. You understand what I'm saying, don't you, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I have all the power here. Curse you. Well, aren't you menacing? You and your little friend are just as bad as each other. Violent criminals who deserve to be locked up. You'll pay for this. And with that, yet another person disappears from my life. Oh, it just makes me want to cry and cry and cry. Do I have a recording device on my person or anything? That would be gay. That would be like absolutely ace. It would be amazing. I'm not planning to disappear just yet, Chairman Winner. There's still the hearing later today. Just you wait. One way or another, I'll prove Kay's innocence to the world then. Oh, we move straight on. No to be continued or anything. I love how everyone's given like crazy designs. Then we've got the rest of the people who have given some very generic looks. And I will say, like, good on you, Faraday. And oh my god, they took out one of the only other females on that entire board as well. That's a men's world. Horribly so. "10 members, over a majority are present. I hereby call this hearing to order. We are gathered here today to assess the professional competency of Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Here in the sight of the goddess, we do so solemnly swear to pass fair and frank judgment in my favor." Because fair and frank judgment is not where that sentence should end. Fair and frank. Don't make me laugh. I should have laughed. I should have literally laughed. And Verity, if you would be so kind as to summarize the case against Mr. Edgeworth. On April 5th, despite having been advised of the illegality of an investigation he was conducting, the accused refused to desist and eventually had to be detained by myself and Chairman Winner. His actions comprised the investigation into the murder of a certain defense attorney. And despite having been presented with copious evidence of her guilt, he continues to insist that the suspect, 1K Faraday, is innocent of all charges. Perhaps you could explain the details of the murder to us as well. Of course. On the morning of the 5th, the body of the victim was found here in the committee chamber. Further explanation will be provided by... me, Excelcius Winner, Premier Prosecutor. The floor is yours, Mr. Winner. The murder itself happened late on the night of the 4th. The victim was Miss Rosie Ringer. That same night, an illicit auction was being held here in this very room. Ringer took part in that auction, I think. Yeah. Meaning that the murder took place sometime during the auction. When she was found, Ringer was dressed in an outfit that matched the description of the auctioneers. However, due to the fact that the auction carried on after the murder had occurred, I deduced that Ringer was not in fact the auctioneer. You deduced nothing of the sort. And what about the basis on which the suspect was detained, Mr. Winner? Yeah, I got this. So Faraday was overcome by... crushing remorse, Eustace. Yes, that. Tons of crushing remorse. So she confessed. According to her confession, she was on the roof of this building when she encountered a person in a red raincoat on the viewing platform. And that person was Miss Ringer, I take it. Precisely, Mr. Chairman. The killer dressed the victim in the auctioneer's outfit after the fact. But at the time when she was killed, Miss Ringer was wearing a red raincoat. And who won the race to find that raincoat nearby? Me, that's who! Did you? I thought it was somebody from forensics. Strictly speaking, it was found by one of the forensic investigators under Mr. Winner's command. I knew it. The blood analysis on the coat showed that it was indeed Miss Ringer who had worn it. And the suspect's confession was final nail in the coffin she confirmed having committed the murder. So as you can see, Kay Faraday was the killer. There's no way anybody else could have done it. I'm getting tripped up now by going to say Missy instead of Miss. All right, Miles, I expect you have some objections. Let's get them out of the way, shall we? I have no objections, Chairman Winner. Well now, is that so? I thought it would have taken more than a single night of detention to break you. No objections in the matter of my unauthorized investigation, that is. In the matter of Miss Faraday's supposed guilt, I have plenty.
Overruled.
I can personally attest to the fact that Mr. Winner's investigation was fair and impartial. Of course it was! When it comes to carefully conducted ops, I'm the winner every time! You know, Miles, has within my power to offer you a plea deal of sorts. If, and this is purely hypothetical of course, you were to withdraw your objections, you might wake up tomorrow to find yourself the proud owner of a seat on this committee. Oh, wow! Bribing upwards, eh? Someone that can be controlled, though, is someone you'd want on this committee, isn't it? So I ask you again, do you have any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? If you think you can buy my silence, think again. You will watch your mouth. Only if the chairman watches his. I didn't come here to talk about committee seats. I came here to talk about the murder case. I demand a statement under oath, and I won't rest until I have one. I want to know exactly what the committee's view of the incident is. You want to put us on trial, my boy? Very well, if it will make you happy. Verity, please provide Mr. Edgeworth with the materials pertaining to the case. Really? But sir... This will be his last hurrah, so let's humor him with the send-off he desires. If you say so, Mr. Chairman. Evidence data has been received from Judge Gavell. You have no objections to Verity representing the committee, I assume? None whatsoever. Mr. Edgeworth! Don't worry, Kay. Everything will be fine. You'll see. Will we? The committee's view of the case. We are on trial in a trial room, which isn't even a trial room, but we're taking things under oath. A committee that we know to be corrupt, a committee that stood by when essentially we were offered a spot, a bought spot on the board if we just did corrupt things. So we know that absolutely no one here is to be trusted. Excellent. Justice is not blind. Justice is in the gutter. As we end another episode of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutors Gambit. Join me next time for more, and I'll see you then as we really get to the meat of this case. Until then, I say, bye-bye.